What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Best Brew Ever. This is a little bit different kind of thing I'm doing here. The camera might be shaky. I got it on the table here. Usually we do kind of like how-to kind of stuff. I think this time we're just gonna kick back and drink a beer or several beers. It's Friday, probably 8:30. So the week's over. We're all happy about that. It's got some cheap beer. Sometimes when you're not home brewing, sometimes funds are down, but you got to do what you got to do. So, but I do have, and if you watched the last episode, when we brewed the 8 pounds of, let me scoot my chair back there a little bit. 8 pounds of the free grain. We brewed outside on the mash and boil. I had some problems, like I said in the video, with my wort chiller. I started had all kind of leaks, and that was a headache. Then I realized after I went back and watched the video that I didn't show me pouring in the yeast, but it was a USO5. I hydrated it. So it turned out to be a pretty good beer, but after I got it, fermented right here in my fast ferment, this bad boy, my kegerator, it's dead. So I drank hot beer, the whole thing. There's still a little bit in that keg. And I had some other problems with the fast ferment. It was more my error. I did something I don't normally do. I collected the yeast in the ball. I got it over there, but that is underneath there, the yeast collector. That's what it's for. And it was just a ton of yeast. That thing took off, and just that little packet of hydrated, it multiplied like crazy. So the whole ball, I dumped that out, sanitized it, but I didn't put it back on. For whatever reason, it slipped my mind. I had a million other things to do, and so in that conical in the bottom, it just collected, not in the ball, because I didn't have the ball attached. I never put it back on there. So then when I tried to run some off, the beer kind of just like made a hole in the yeast, because more yeast had collected. I tell you, it's a ton. And then it just slowly kind of took the yeast that had collected out, but it was a lot of good beer was escaping. Not the yeast didn't just all drop out. So I ended up probably lost like a gallon, I would say, because I think after all the yeast was out of it, I looked at it's got measuring lines on the fast ferment, and it said like 4 gallons. So I was not happy about that. But the beer itself was actually good. It came out to be a really good beer. Just the rare 2-row. I believe it was Mosaic. I believe so. But I think also in the video I might have made an error. I think I said I used half an ounce for bittering, and then the other half for at flame out, and I just left that in there while I cooled it down. You know, the wort chiller, I left the bag in there and everything. but I think it was actually 0.25 for bittering, and then 0.75 for at Flame Out, and left it in there. But it gave it like this really good, and some people call it New England style. I guess when you do that, I'm not gonna call it that, but whatever the actual styles, where it was created, however it came about, it really leaves the hop flavor without bittering it. And, I mean, it packs so much in there, and it was so good. So I'm gonna do that a lot more. I'm gonna experiment more with that. And really, I mean, I didn't have any problems other than it was hot. But I didn't really think about it either. Like I said, I got a million things, and I'm like everybody, man. You know, everybody, nobody's life is just cut and dry. You know, I mean, you got a million things. Like, you know, where the work week's over, then you start your homework week. Not really homework, but work around the house. I mean, I got clogged laundry drain I got to fix tomorrow, and then the washer starts messing up, so I got to fix that. My kegerator's messed up. We got to cut the grass. I mean, you know all about that. This place is a mess. I got to clean up my man cave back here. But what I wanted to kind of show you was I did put some of, kind of thought about it a little bit, and I said, hey, why don't I? So I put a little bit of the, I didn't have a name for it. I usually name all in beers. Let's call it Born Free. As good as anything, because it was free grain. We did it outside. Born Free. Born Free, I really don't know what the style would be. It wasn't bitter enough for like a pale ale. It was more like a, I don't know, just like hop forward ale. I don't know, hop forward golden. I don't know. But anyway, not very carbonated in there either. Alright, let's see what we got. I'm sure that's all out of there. And I actually put this in this little growler. Oh, there's like no carbonation anymore. So I put it in there last night, and it was carved up. Like in the keg, if I go pour some out of the keg right now, it'll be carved up. But it must have escaped out of this thing. Must not have a good enough seal. I don't know. But it's cold. This is the first time I've tasted it cold. So let's see. And you can see it's cloudy. So they never had any time, you know, to condition in the keg and let all that yeast drop out. So, all right. Sorry, my allergies are starting to act up. It's good. I mean, it does taste flat. But when I first started drinking, it was flat too, so it doesn't really matter. But it carved up pretty good. It's all flat now. And I don't know if it's because of the cold. A lot of hop flavor, not the bitterness, but the hop flavor actually is kind of subdued in there. It's probably because it's cold, but you still get good flavor, good hop flavor. I mean, the aromatics, man, it's like a mango orange juice almost. I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe I should have done half and half, like half for bittering, because there's like no bitterness at all. And sometimes I like a little bit of a bite, but this would, you know, everything would have went right with my kegerator and everything, and carb it up right. I mean, let's be killer outside. You know, it's hot. This is very light bodied. That's good stuff. So I excuse me, my air conditioner's taking off over there. I'd definitely make that again. Or even, you know, something like it. I mean, this is the joy of brewing, right? You find out a little something, you add a little something. It's like a sculpture, you know. You put a little bit, and next thing you know, you got this masterpiece. So, you know, I've been home brewing since I think 2009. I thought it was earlier, but then something happened in I think it was 2009 since I've been home brewing. But still haven't perfected it. You know, but really, I mean, what is perfect? What is the perfect beer? I mean, kind of, you know, best brew ever. It's kind of like a journey. It sounds weird, but it's meant to be sound like that, you know, at least. You know, we're in search for the best brew ever, best beer, best recipe, best style, but you know, but that's all relative. That's all opinion, you know. And I think, you know, it seems when people first get into craft beer, you know, you're an IPA guy or you're a stout guy. And I started out like an IPA guy, and I kind of stouts, I really didn't care for them that much. But over time, you know, you just develop taste for, you know, different styles, and I'd say most of the styles that I've tried that I like. I'm not really too into fruity beers like peach and strawberry, and I've had a cherry stout that was pretty good. You know, so I would never rule out saying, well, I'm not gonna drink that, because you never know, you know. And really, when you get into craft beer, you know, you're opening like Pandora's box, you know. It's almost like taking, you know, the pill from Matrix, because once you see what beer really is, you can't really go back, you know. You can't really say, I mean, because I was a Budweiser guy, and for years I drank, you know, 16-ounce Buds, boom, 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 every day. And I remember one time I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I was young, not under the legal drinking age, but I was young, and I was like, man, I love beer. I'm a beer drinker. I was drinking Budweiser, not knowing that there's all these other beers that I've never even known of. You know, and then getting into the I don't know, getting into trying different things. I really didn't know. I was kind of confused about things. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like this or not. And I did, but I didn't. And I was like, yeah. So I kept going with it. And it was kind of like I just find different things, and I started trying all these different beers, and then eventually I was like, yeah, these are so much better. I mean, you have all this flavor, and like so many people who drink macro brews, which is it's not bad, but it's just, I got it at the time, but I don't get it now. You stick with one beer, like that's my beer. And the only reason why I stopped drinking Budweiser too was I started getting like acid reflux really bad, and I didn't know. I was like, I don't know, I just get acid reflux, and then somebody else said that Budweiser did that to him. Maybe it was Budweiser. And I think I switched to Old Style after that, and acid reflux went away. So I don't know what it was in it, but so I drank Old Style for him, and that was my brand. That was only my brand because it was cheap. I think I could get it for, I think I get a 30 pack at the time. I don't know if they sell 30 packs anymore, but I could get a 30 pack for like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But this before it was Chicago's beer. It was still made in Wisconsin. There's still Helaman's. Now it's Chicago's beer. Alright, so it's allergy season for me. And as you can hear, I'm full-blown allergied out. I'm congested. And at the time of making the video that you're watching, I had just started getting my symptoms, and I started taking my allergy pill, and they made me very drowsy on their own. So combine that with a couple of beers, well, you'll see what you get. So I drank that, and really I have no problem still drinking macro brews. But if given a choice, given unlimited money and whatever, yeah, I probably wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. And I'm not, and it's also crazy too. I mean, there's so much going on with this. After I jumped off macro brews to craft beers, and it was great. I'm getting all these things, and then I started homebrewing, and I did like here or there when I first started, but then later I got more, and when I started making these videos is when I really started hammering down on homebrewing. And since then, that's even messed me up because it's not just like it's craft beer, they're different now. Homebrew craft beers and craft beer from anywhere is different. And I think what it is most breweries will filter their craft beers, and you see that's not filtered, and I never filter my beers. And I think that's what it is, because anymore, like, just from drinking home brews, drinking like production beer, craft beer, it tastes like a little, even though it might have flavors and whatever, and they don't have as much flavor as home brews. And I think it's the yeast. I think because they're filtering out that yeast, that's a lot of flavor. They're filtering out the flavor of the yeast and probably other things too. So don't filter it. Don't do it. Who cares if you can see through it? What does that matter? But I think that's just all this time that we've been taught by drinking all the macro brews. It's got to be crystal clear. It's got to look a certain way. Look at this. It looks like I'm drinking lemonade. I know it's a beer. And even flat. It's a damn good beer. So, where am I going with this? I think the beers are starting to get to me, which is not uncommon for anybody when they drink. Oh, sorry. But as a home brewer, I see a lot of places I want to go as far as creating. And one thing that I keep thinking to myself, and somebody had commented on one of the videos in I think the first season, and I kind of took it as being helpful, but then later I kind of thought about it. I'm like, well, I think this guy's talking trash. But who cares? I mean, that's the internet. That's people. I really don't care. But I think he was talking about, because I do like I don't do like step mashing. I do, what's it called, single fusion or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to, like I said, it's been a long week. But I thought about that. I was like, yeah, that was one thing, and I might still try it. Of doing, the way I brew beer, because that's the way I learned. I learned through, I think, a DVD. I think I don't know if I got the DVD with the beer kit that I bought or what it was, but that's the way it showed. So I was like, well, this is the way you brew beer. I didn't know anything else about. I thought that was it. But people, the alpha amylize and beta amylize and all this stuff. And really, I mean, does it really taste different? If you hit this temp and then this temp, and does it really bring out a different flavor? I mean, because the way I do it, you hit pretty much in the middle. You hit a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I don't know. I really can't tell you. But I do think I want to try it and then side by side compare it. But it's hard to do, because then there's all these different things that you can say. Well, you don't have the same fermenter. You don't, did you measure out the exact yeast? And so it's really hard to do, to take an exact side by side beer. But I might try a variation of it just to see. Alright. Well, that was delicious. Next on the menu, Yuengling Oktoberfest. It's not Oktoberfest yet. It's a little early for that. It's August. But it came out, and tell you the truth, ever since I started kind of getting into Yuengling, somebody brought some back from Ohio, which is not where it's from. It's from Pennsylvania, Pottsville, PA. And I really liked it. It was cheap. I think they said they bought it for like $18 a case, and it was full of flavor. So I mean, I fell in love with it. Everybody rallied for it here in Indiana. They had a Facebook page, and we finally got it here. And now we're starting to get, all the stuff that comes with it. And I had seen that there was Oktoberfest. I was like, man, I would love to try that, but we couldn't get it here. And now we have the Oktoberfest. I don't care if it's not Oktoberfest. I'm not gonna lie, I have tried this already. My Craftsman bottle opener. Got a plug for Craftsman. And the pour. And there it is. That looks like an Oktoberfest, right? It looks rich and malty. Even though you can see me through it. Right? Not much in the nose. maltiness, a little caramel. As far as Oktoberfest, I don't know. I think maybe I built it up. I was expecting so much more, and it didn't deliver. It's got great color. And, when I smelled it the first time, like I said, I already tried it. I already knew I didn't like it. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't like it for an Oktoberfest. I'll take it over a million other beers, but maybe not a million. But it smells like a beer. It's beer. I expected the maltiness, and with the color, you expected this bold malt flavor. It's almost like a Amberbach, Michelob Amberbach. I mean, I haven't had one of those in a long time. Almost like that. I mean, I don't think it is Oktoberfest. Probably for me, my favorite Oktoberfest, and I haven't had a million of them. I'm not the authority on it. Just my opinion from what I've had. Is the Spaten Oktoberfest. I remember one year I was really getting into Oktoberfest. So I went out and I bought a case of Spaten Oktoberfest. My liquor store didn't have it, so they ordered it for me. And he's like, "Yeah, well, we got a case in," because I guess they got to order a case at a time. And he's like, he goes, "Well, you don't have to buy it, okay? You can just take like a 6-pack or something like that." Like, nah, I'll take the case. I think it was like $50. I took that. I was, drinking those, and it was a weird thing. I had at the same time I had some of the Spatens, but I think my wife surprised me. And actually, she's the one that surprised me with this. I was so happy to get it. She was checking this out, and I was like, "What?" I've been wanting to try that for like 5 years. But I think she surprised me with the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which I've had before. And if you just pick up Sam Adams Oktoberfest and drink it, it's fine. But if you're drinking Spaten, several Spatens, and then drink a Sam Adams Oktoberfest, Spaten Oktoberfest, and then drink a Sam Adams Oktoberfest, it is like candy. It's so sweet. And I was like, oh, it was nasty almost. And that's so weird. Like, just the way your palate adjusts, and it's weird how it, like, I don't know, it filters different things out different ways. I don't know. Like I'm saying, if I wasn't drinking anything, picked up a Sam Adams Oktoberfest, drank it, it's not sweet at all. Say you drink 2 or 3 Spaten Oktoberfest, then a Sam Adams, it's like you're drinking caramel syrup, and that is horrible. But it's like I went to a local brewery the other day, and I love their pale ale. But I dipped something new on the menu. I tried. It was an IPA, and I tried that. It was more hop forward and more bitter. And then I was like, all right, it was good. I was like, well, let me go for the pale ale. And I drank it, and I was like, man, this tastes like they have different, levels. You have a gold, which I think it was Kolsch. And I was like, man, this tastes like the gold. This tastes like the Kolsch. I didn't taste any hops in it, which you normally do in a pale ale. And I was like, man, it just tastes like I just tasted the malt. I didn't taste the hops at all. But I guess that's the way your taste buds work. tell you, man, there's nothing better. Even though I know I have to get up early in the morning, I got stuff to do. Can't just sleep in, lay in bed all day. That would be wonderful. But at least I know I can work at my own pace. I can, if I sleep in this much, I'm not going to get pointed for it. There's no problems. So, you know, the weekend, and man, we can just pause the weekend. It'd be awesome. I don't know if you're noticing the ambient music we have going over here, if you can even hear it. But I got some royalty-free playlist, mostly classic rock, but I don't know what this stuff is. So hopefully it really is royalty-free, or else I'm gonna get hammered by like 50 songs here. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Wish we could jam some real tunes. I mean, that'd be awesome. Song ain't too bad. Can you hear it? But I do have some, I say it all the time. I got ideas. Trying, man. But I appreciate, man, you guys don't know how much I appreciate people who, follow me or watching the videos. That's so cool, It's cool because I follow so many people. I watch so many people, I watch YouTube more than I watch regular television, so to be this much part of that whole universe is cool, and you guys who are watching it, that makes it happen, man. Subscribers, that always makes everybody feel good, right? Because you're saying, man, this guy's good enough to keep watching. Makes you feel good. Makes you want to keep making more videos. But like I said, I got a ton of ideas. And the worst part is, like, I have all the, my mind's always working. Sometimes I can't go to sleep at night. Not just for this, but just ideas in life and all the things I'm doing around the house. And sometimes it's hard to shut my brain down, Sometimes I can't sleep. I get insomnia. But, I'll be driving by somewhere and I'll say, man, that place is like an abandoned building or something like that. And man, I'd love to open a brew house right there. A couple years later, somebody opens a restaurant brew house there. Or on YouTube. Like, man, I got an idea for, I'm gonna make this. And then, I search it. A lot of times I'll search things because I'm trying to be as unique as possible, but that's so hard on YouTube. So I'll search something, don't see anything. Don't really see anybody making anything really significant in that area. And then before I can do it, I made it. That's life. I think it's life for everything. Probably the first automobile was invented and created by somebody just thinking about it, but didn't get a chance to make it. And then somebody else made it. Like, son, this guy made it? Huh? That was my idea. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, that was your idea. Frank, go to bed. There's one on there called Zombie Classic Rock Instrumental. Let's hear that one. This one's Feel Good. I'm the zombie. I lost my zombie rock instrumental. Oh, here it is. See what this one sounds like. This is what zombies sound like when they play music. Not too bad. Well, you know, there's a gnat. There's a gnat. I think one of the biggest things for me in home brewing is I want to get bulk 50, 55 pound. I don't know what it comes in, bag of grain of Marisada, because man, that Marisada was so good. That Marisada, the smash beer, man, just that grain by itself is just so much malt flavor. Hit that, just get different hops all the time. I think that's where I'm gonna go next. So I'm not really sure as far as that part goes. I want to get that for me, not just the show on TV, but because I don't think a lot of people like see me just making the same beer over and over and over and over. But like for me to drink here, I think that would be awesome. It'd be cheap, and in the long run, you know, I got buy 50, 55 pound of grain, single grain, a pound of hops, yeast, keep reusing it. I mean, come on. You can make a lot of beers for cheap, flavorful beers. So I mean, that's something I want to do, but also I want to, you know, show something to you guys and keep the channel going and interesting. That's really the hardest thing. It's not hard to think of, but it's hard to manage. And I got some ideas. See if the finances come up. You know, we talked about this before. I'm not gonna keep talking about my finances, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. We might be going a little bit crazy, trying to keep everything together in the homestead and on my YouTube channel. And I got a good buzz on because I think this is probably only the second time that I have been this inebriated with my viewers, and I don't know what to think. I don't know, should I apologize or because it's hard to apologize for being inebriated when you're drinking beer. I think it's a point when it gets excessive and like, you know, you gotta tell your buddy, hey, that's enough, sit down. And sometimes I've been that buddy. Maybe not we all, but I'll admit to it. I've done it before, you know. Somebody does it. Sam, sit down. It's enough. What are you talking about? It's enough. You've been the annoying guy at the party. But that's what this session is about. Just hanging out, letting it go, not cutting every little piece up where makes me look good, or I don't know, do I look good? And most of the videos, I don't know. It's up to each individual's opinion. I think the other time was that I had too much to drink in the video, which I should have cut up and just put each individual video, but I was trying to do something different and had a bunch of video that I had recorded, but I was new to this. I was kind of a little bit nervous about posting just anything. You know, I didn't know how. I thought I had to have certain segments and it had to be a certain way put together, and so I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense by itself. But I think in hindsight, I should have just put it as a 15-minute segment. Put it, you know, whatever. Kind of, you know, whatever the segment. None of them had anything to do. But if you go back and look at cavalcade of New Year's or unused footage, cavalcade of unused footage. There was some kind of interesting things. I think some people might would have liked, you know. But I put them all into one video. So if you don't watch that video, you're missing on all those little segments. I should have segmented them out and just put them individually by themselves and let them stand alone on their, you know. But on one of those, there was a Christmas video, and my dad had got me from a local brewery that I've talked about a million times, Center Point, and he got me a Belgian double or triple, I don't know. He got me a growler of it. It was Christmas time. We got all the shopping done. Usually around Christmas time, my work was more busy, so I was hammering down a lot of hours, and I got all the Christmas shopping done and everything done, and finally it was like time to relax. And I was back here when I used to have right here. I used to have my pub table, and I was just chilling out, you know, drinking some strong beers, and I made that video, and then you kind of, I got small eyes anyway, you know. A lot of people might think I smoke a lot or something, but I don't smoke. But if you see my eyes when I get tired or relaxed, my eyes, look, let me see. That wasn't even me like closing my eyes. That's me like just this is the way my eyes are. Well, my life. But anyway, my wife makes fun of me all the time about my eyes. But I was really relaxed, and you know, I was in the zone. I was like, man, I'm jamming some jazz music, and you know, Christmassy jazz music. What's the best Christmassy jazz song? For me, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Nat King Cole, man. So I you know, I think I even mentioned that in the video. But why not? You know, I'm not belligerent. I'm just very tired. Very, very tired. We ain't hurt nobody, right? We're at home. Don't go out driving around. You know, don't go out seeing how fast you can go, and just have you some beers. I don't know if I like this song. I also got ADD. Did I tell you that? Alright, enough of that. Don't go driving around. Have some beers. Hang out. jam some tunes, maybe some better ones than this, but I had to play copyright-free music. And you know what? I think this is it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching all the other episodes. Um, Hopefully, if you're not into some of the things that I put on my channel, maybe you'll get into them. If you're into low riding, maybe you'll get into beer. If you're into beer, maybe you get into low riding, or cooking, or drawing. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for everything. I love you guys. Thanks for having a beer with me. Cheers.